Yeah, there it is, over on the right side, and another one over there, left. There you go. Yeah, good.
All right, we ready for this?
Yeah, I got your door here and your window.
Thank you.
Little bit of back pressure, stay on that rudder. Go around it, a little bit of back pressure, get that nose wheel light. There you go. Stay on the rudder, just need some rudder feet work. Or right rudder still, right? So it wants to go left on you, right? So you gotta just keep your feet moving.
Start a short left, start left crosswind for runway 19 left.
Alright, left crosswind 19 left.
Left crosswind, 19 left. Everyone go.
Alright, let's roll left. So, you know what he means by 19 left then?
The runway.
Yeah. So we took off on the right side, which is the big one. Now he's just putting us on the left side for 19 left. That was closed earlier for me, which is why I didn't know if we were going to get it, but it's open.
Okay.
So we can sit and hang out in the pattern there.
Excellent.
You see a little runway there?
Yes.
Yeah. I love that runway. It's perfect for EA practice.
Tower W679.
So should I run this a little long, get some height?
Georgia 979.
Just normal spacing. You don't have to.
Okay.
You should make the altitude by the time we're on count.
In the traffic pattern for the parallel runway.
That's this one here, right next to the planes?
Yep.
Okay. Runway 19 left. Cleared for the option. Traffic turning about a 7 mile final for runway 19 right. 4 Flyboys 360.
Is that us?
Yeah.
Aircraft deploy level 230, you're on Milwaukee Tower, check your last time.
So, he gave us, we're clear for the option 19 left, and then he said there's a traffic out for 7 mile final on 19 right. So, the appropriate response for traffic is either traffic in sight or negative contact.
Do I want to try to hit this now? Is it?
Well, yeah, the approach end's over there, right?
What?
19 left.
That's this one right here?
It's the north-south runway, yeah, next to the planes.
So we passed it?
No. You don't see it yet?
No, I guess not.
Look, you see this diagonal runway here? Look right at the end. You see the numbers 19 there on the runway?
I see 31. Oh, 19. I got you.
Yeah, that's the short one.
The short
next to
runway.
19
I got
left.
you. My
yeah.
bad.
No, it's okay. You're in good configuration now. You're beating the spot. You're at 70. Yeah. There's the traffic. You see him out there on the final? Oh, he's coming up on maybe 2 o'clock now. Hi.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Roger.
Oh shit. That's not looking good for me. Sorry.
Aileron in the wind, stay on the rudders. Your feet
I going out?
Yeah, it needs some rudder. Yeah, we're keep going. Try to keep it in the middle with your feet. Use your feet. Don't be afraid of those rudder pedals.
Okay. Wow, that was terrible, my bad.
Wasn't terrible. So let's use it as a, let's get coordinated, let's fly it out, put that one behind us and keep moving forward. So,
man.
what would you do differently?
Oh my god. I had a lot of energy coming down.
Well, you were looking good and then you were trying to hold it off, which I've taught you to do, and then we just kind of...
Balloon?
We ballooned and then we had the stick really far back.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of dropped it in. You did the right thing, you added a little power, which was good. But, you know, you were kind of, then you lost your crosswind correction.
Yeah.
So what could you have done to rectify that situation?
Kept crosswind correction.
Okay, what other thing could you have done if you didn't like it, you weren't feeling good about it?
Go around.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm sitting here, I'm just kind of being a little more quiet, and I'm just watching to see what you're going to do, and you have full authority to go around if you don't like it. You don't have to wait for my call or anything like that.
Okay.
Hey, I don't like this, I'm going around.
Okay, gotcha.
I would love to see that versus like, hey, this isn't good, what do I do, right?
Yeah.
Because what I'm looking for to get you ready for solo is that not only are you, demonstrating some consistency, but you're correcting your errors on your own and making the safe decision, right?
Yeah, sometimes I think I rely on you.
Yeah, and that's
instead of just taking it in my own hands.
Completely normal.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that I'm not flying the airplane for you.
Yep.
By the time you're up here by yourself, right? Because that'd be a rookie mistake on my part.
Yes, gotcha.
So if I'm sitting up here quiet, it's not because I'm doing statistical analysis on empty swimming pools. It's because I'm deliberately trying to see what you're going to do on your own.
Gotcha.
Only golf, runway 19 left, clear for the option.
19 left, clear for the option, 7 golf.
Quick 74 Milwaukee Tower, fly the runway heading runway 19 right, clear for takeoff.
19 right, clear for takeoff, Brickyard 4374.
Aileron. Very nice. I loved the rudder work. You got that fuselage lined up really well with the center line, just needed more wing down. That's why we drifted to the right.
Okay.
So you gotta just put a little more wing into that one, and then you gotta hold those inputs throughout the touchdown. The touchdown was good, but as soon as the wheels touched, you went, I'm done, right? And you need to keep flying it at that point.
Turn.
The ailerons need to come into the wind, you need to stay on the rudders,
Okay.
and then the aileron comes out after you start accelerating again. And that would have completed the puzzle on that one.
Okay, I gotta focus on the ailerons. I do that a lot.
Yeah, easy on the climbing bank here. We started the turn a couple hundred feet early. Wait till about 1100 to start the turn. That's going to extend your upwind and it'll allow you to have more time on downwind. So remember, about 1100 here is about 500 AGL. It's a good time to start the turn and crossing.
Okay, 1100.
Yeah, we're ready to go break at 30.
Got it.
Breakout 3674, turn left heading 170, only 100 right, clear for takeoff.
Did I have a lot of energy on that one coming down?
Break here at 3670.
No, you had the right amount of energy on that one.
Okay, that was good.
Yep. That was a good sight picture. I was really happy with that.
170 departure, breakout.
Okay.
You're looking in the right spot. You're making the right decisions on flaps. You were a little high.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is you delayed taking the power out to idle. So I was waiting for you to do it, and you did it eventually. We were high, but we still had this power on, and I'm thinking, let's just pull the power to idle, and that would have got the airplane down.
Yeah.
What a lot of people do in that situation is they end up slipping with the power on the airplane, and that is kind of counteracting itself, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to get down and you have power, you're delaying the sink, and you're slipping with power, so you're not as effective in the slip, so you need to do one or the other.
Okay.
Or one and then the other. 1700 is the pattern altitude here. You were a little high on the last one too, and you're getting high here.
Okay.
17, not 18 is the pattern altitude here. Airport's about 600, 650 depending on where you are on the fields.
Air Shuttle 6302, Milwaukee Tower, turn right heading 210, runway 19 right, clear for takeoff. Air Shuttle 6302, Milwaukee.
And we're up Air Shuttle 6302.
Air Shuttle 6302, turn right heading 210, only 19 right, clear for takeoff.
Right turn 210, clear for takeoff. 19 right, Air Shuttle 6302.
Emily in the Gulf, runway 19 left, clear for the option.
19 left, option 7 Gulf.
Beautiful day today, man.
Yes, it is.
Another good day to fly.
Breakout 3674, kind of departure.
Departure break here at 3674.
There's the rudder. Let's get that
Yes,
wing
Bravo,
in,
turn at
too.
Milwaukee, wind 110 at 9, altimeter 3014.
Wait for it. Good, aileron into the wind. Don't let that aileron go.
Departure, enjoy your day.
Departure on the rudder. See how much easier that is when you get that aileron in?
Yeah.
Mushing a little bit, you feel that? Lower the nose a little bit. Let it accelerate. You feel the mush?
I did, yeah.
Let it accelerate. Once you get some momentum, you can pull up and it'll start clawing gear a little better.
Well, how'd that one feel to you?
That was good. You did the right. You made the right decisions on your control inputs. I had to get that aileron, and you have to think about, you have to try to engage your mind on that a little bit more on the touchdowns.
I gotta make it happen.
Conscious effort, yeah. Touchdown, aileron slowly coming to the way. You don't want to crank them. You don't want to like bank on the ground, but you want to bring them in so that they're into the wind on the touchdown. These light airplanes are very sensitive to crosswind, and you touch down, you're still at flying speed. They're very, very close to it. If you're not full stalled, you're going to have a little bit of energy enough to go flying again, and if you catch a gust or you're not correcting for the wind,
Delta 48, Mark, ready to go?
the airplane's going to sidestep, or it's going to skip along, you know, it's going to side skip.
Because the aileron's still straight?
Yeah, because the aileron's straight, so it's there's a lateral motion because the airplane's not solidly planted on the ground. It has flying speed, so not all of the weight of the airplane is on the wheels. Some of it's still on the wings. And so if the air is pushing it to the left or right, it's going to go left or right if it's not solidly planted on the ground.
Okay.
To prevent that, you
Alright, I gotta
keep the wing down into the wind, and that keeps the upwind wheel
I'm gonna
planted.
make sure I do that.
Yeah.
Delta 1484, Milwaukee Tower.
And on the takeoff too, and as the airplane accelerates, you take some of that out. So you just do it in reverse on the landing. There's 17. Pitch power trim. If they don't call you, it's okay to say something off as midfield for 19 left or something, and they'll come back into the option. So, you know, by the time you're ready to turn base, if he hasn't gotten to you, you can just give him a little nudge. But I'm overall very happy with how this is going. We have some spit and polish to do, but we're where we need to be.
Kevin, the golf is the beam. The numbers 19 right, or 19 left, sorry.
Filling the golf, runway 19 left, clear for the option.
19 left, clear for the option, 7 the golf.
Nice. Perfectly appropriate. I'll beam the numbers or midfield, something like that. Turning base. Short final, that'd be late, but
Might have turned this one a little early, we'll see.
well, you have some options, you have some tools in your toolbox.
Yes, we do.
Delta 1484, kind of departure, enjoy your day.
This is a lot of fun though, isn't it? It's pretty cool.
Love doing it.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, always blessed to be up here with you.
Yeah. So you see the amount we're crabbed right now? That'll give you an indication of how much rudder you need to straighten it out, and that'll also give you an indication of how much left wing you're going to need down.
Okay.
I still, to this day, talk to myself. I'm like, right rudder, left wing, right rudder, left wing. Because it's not intuitive. Right? Good, aileron, and rudder. Aileron comes in, stay on the rudder. Check this out. You can just do it with me. This is a takeoff. Look at that. And then we're on one wheel, and then we're up, and then we're tracking. So the airplane can fly with a wheel on the ground. It's still flying. It doesn't know if the ground's underneath it or not. It just knows if it has flying speed, right? That's why we can side skip or not. So.
That felt weird.
Yeah, well, that's how it should actually be done. That's an appropriate crosswind takeoff.
Okay. It kind of feels like you're just going to dig the left wing into the ground.
Yeah, you know, and if you're in a low wing airplane, you might, but we're not.
Okay.
The high wing airplane, it's about learning about learning the limits of what you are flying, but that's perfectly appropriate. In fact, the airplane is happy because it's flying, you're banked into the wind a little bit, you're on the rudder, We have the nose wheel off the ground. We were just riding like a I don't know what you call it, a sideways wheelie or something, but we just had one wheel on the ground,
Yeah.
and the airplane's perfectly happy because it's just tracking straight. And then when we were ready to go flying, we just popped it off, turned it to the wind, and tracked, right?
Yeah. Okay.
The thing about airplanes is a lot of things that are normal for the airplane feel weird to us as human beings.
It does. I know.
And so we are constantly trying to do things that feel good to us.
Yep.
When the airplane's like, no, I need this, right?
Yeah.
For example, flying a very light, high-powered airplane, to climb out at the best rate, you're like this, and you're like, this does not feel right now. But
Yeah.
the airplane's like, oh, I'm fine, I'm happy, right?
Yeah.
And it's learning to trust the data, right, and the
Yeah.
instruments and your knowledge of what needs to be done to let the airplane perform a certain way, and not rely just on our mere mortal senses
Yeah.
and intuitions, which are oftentimes wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Man, I gotta tell myself, remind me of when I'm landing these fucking ailerons. Dude, I gotta repeat it to myself over and over this time. I gotta make
Eventually,
it happen.
you'll sense it,
Yeah,
and you'll respond appropriately, but you do have to think about it beforehand. I mean, I'm not lying. Even in my job, when it's my leg to fly and I'm on a landing and there's a cross center, I'm like, right rudder, left aileron, right rudder, left aileron. I talk to myself because it's not immediately apparent all the time, right?
Yeah.
Especially if something else happens, it's easy to lose that.
okay. Yeah, right rudder, left aileron.
Catch a gust or who knows.
Okay.
What a neat machine. Airplanes.
Runway 19 left, cleared for the option.
9 left, clear for the option 7 go. I guess I should have called him there.
That caught you, but yeah, you could have gave a call a little earlier. Good crosswind practice.
Yes, it is. Alright, I need this damn aileron.
Try to touch down on your wheel first,
Okay.
and try to lower my wheel onto the ground. That would be the perfect crosswind landing.
Okay.
Maybe landing on your wheel first, and my wheel would come down second. That's it. There's the ailerons. That was perfect.
Alright, well, there we go.
Yeah.
And I got the ailerons in.
Yep. That makes sense, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
You heard that, like, that little squeak and then my squeak?
Yep.
That's perfect.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah,
all make right traffic this time.
I think it's always just speed. Right traffic?
Yep.
Okay.
What was that?
I just always think it's being too afraid or too gentle.
Yeah, it is being timid on the controls, which is, again, that's natural because you're low time and this is a foreign environment.
Yeah.
So it's to be expected. The goal is to continue doing this until you feel a little more authoritative
Yeah.
with the airplane.
Or 804 Charlie Victor, fly the runway heading, runway 7 right, cleared to takeoff.
Citation 804 Charlie Victor, clear for takeoff, runway 7 right, fly the runway heading.
Did they switch the airport around?
Seven Milwaukee again? No, it was just for this one departure. He was asking for 7 right.
What's the plan? Am I still?
Yeah, right track.
Yep. Yep.
Car 7 Lima Golf, just extend down a little bit, I'll call your base ready.
Extend.
Check downwind, 7 Lima Golf.
Yeah, so this is an example of them asking you just to extend a little bit. Why do you think they're doing that?
We got that dude taking off there.
Yeah, he was just a little slow on the roll and he was just getting set up for something and kind of
4 Charlie Victor, no delay.
try to find your
Charlie Victor.
your line that keeps you parallel to the runway by tracking along the ground. So finding a reference out there to track to, maybe it's the U.S. Bank building. Track to that, and that keeps us parallel to 19 left. And then you're just managing your power setting about 80, 85 knots, 1,700 feet trim, so that when you're ready, you can start your base turn. You're not all over the place.
Yep.
Another thing they can do out here is give you a 360, which would just be basically a turnaround of points. So you can be at 1,700 feet. You just do a 360, so your turn lined up back on the downwind. That delays
First
things.
Lima Golf, Victor, your discretion now, runway 19er left, wind 13010, clear for the option.
19 left, clear for the option. 7 Lima Golf.
Number 4 Charlie Victor, turn right to him.
Alright, we good to do this?
Yes, sir.
Right.
So once they do that, once they come back with that, you're clear to just resume normal pattern operation.
So we're going to be back to left traffic.
Yeah, they'll probably call back and say resume left traffic or something like that. If they don't, then you would just stay in right traffic
Okay.
until they assign you something different.
So we're still pretty far out here.
Yeah, so you just kind of adjust accordingly.
Okay.
Number 4 Charlie Victor, your right turn heading 270, contact departure.
Victor 270, departure.
Good. I love it. Pitch for airspeed, power for front. Beautiful. Awesome. nicely done. That just clicked for you those last couple, I think.
Yeah, that made sense.
Yeah, the one thing I'd like to bring in too is...
When you're able to enter left traffic, runway 19 left.
Left traffic, 19 left. 7 limit golf.
Try to, just as much as now you're starting to fly the ailerons and fly the rudder on the roll, start trying to fly the nose wheel too. You're kind of letting the nose wheel slam down, and you're also kind of maybe even pushing it forward a little bit. Try to hold it off a little bit and let it come down on its own. That's now you're. If you are able to do that, then...
7 Lima Golf, there's traffic about 3 north of the field, following the shoreline southbound via bar 3,500.
Do you see him? No. That negative contact with him.
Negative contact, 7 limit golf.
Yeah. And then if you see him, traffic inside. Okay. That shouldn't be a factor. He said 3,500, right? So that's...
To the north, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be probably out of our sight, but it's a required advisory, so...
Okay, yeah, so don't...
then you'd be flying all 3 axes of the airplane, pitch, roll, and yaw.
Okay.
So you're getting the aileron part down, got the rudder part down. Now let's try to, because we're getting that... This airplane has an issue with the nose wheel, which I've been chasing for a long time, but it's got a shimmy.
Okay.
And it's better, but it's it still can be reduced by keeping the weight off the nose wheel. We do that by holding the elevator back on the roll.
Okay.
And even in the takeoff roll, early in the takeoff roll, pop that nose wheel off and just fly it, and put it in the takeoff attitude right away. It'll come off when it's ready.
Okay.
Same in the landing. Just kind of hold the wheel off and let it come down on its own aerodynamically.
Okay.
There's 7 Lima Golf, runway 19 left with 12010, cleared for the option.
19 left, clear for the option, 7 limit golf.
There's 7 Lima Golf, traffic on a 6-mile straight in for the parallel, never.
You see it?
No.
Sorry, it's a read.
Negative contact?
Suddenly up, Roger, they have contact with him.
What?
So just be, if you don't see it, you can say like negative contact looking or negative contact scanning.
Okay.
Yeah. So Roger, negative contact looking. That's all I said.
Okay.
Otherwise, traffic in sight. We'll stay on our side of the airport. That kind of thing. At the end of the day, they're looking for some
17 walk there, runway
confidence that you're not going to
1010 cleared at 2 land.
drift into their approach path.
5017 traffic at your left by about 4 miles with a VFR aircraft working the parallel.
All right. Good.
Bose is not great.
All right. Good correction.
You think I can fix this? I can try?
That's the kind of stuff that makes them nervous, right? Because these are close runways, so. All right, let's go around.
Okay. I only had 1 notch of flaps?
Yeah, I only had 1 notch of flaps. Might have brought them up a little early. Wouldn't have been a bad idea to climb up a little bit and then get rid of them.
Okay.
But other than that, nice job. You got the airplane under control, you flew it out. We practiced it with the 10 degrees of flaps. We should practice go-arounds with maybe 30 degrees of flaps too. I want to make sure that...
7 limit golf, center left traffic, runway 19 left.
Left traffic, 19 left, 7 limit go.
I just want to see that you're comfortable,
Ground southwest, 2045.
you know, in a full, close to a landing, 30 degrees of flaps. You add power, you're going to get the airplane under control first,
Yes.
and then flaps in increments. So, but that was good. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
we have time to practice more of those, but I just wanted to see it.
Yeah, it seemed under control. I guess that's why.
Yep,
but
it did.
you say hold it off a little longer.
Well, and you get some sink, right? And you're close to the ground, you bring them up, you get some sink. So not bad you get some room between you and the earth, and then bring them up just to give you a little margin. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that.
That was the only thing. The airplane was under control. You had enough speed. It worked out, but it's that sink that you're trying to kind of alleviate.
Denver 50, 17, turn right into the contact ground plane.
Right here, ground plane Denver 50 East.
Southwest 2311, walk there, runway 19 right, turn right heading 270, cleared for takeoff.
Right, turn 270, come takeoff, 19 right.
Number 7 limit golf, Crosswind Takeoff, traffic party in parallel 737.
Roger.
Roger, 7 limit go.
Wake turbulence. Talk to me about wake turbulence avoidance. What is that all about? Why do we care about that? Busy airport like Mitchell.
So, what are you saying?
Why do we care about wake turbulence and how do we avoid it?
Yeah. Is that what he said to us?
Yeah, he said caution wake turbulence heavy 7 or caution wake turbulence 737 departing the parallel.
Okay.
The Southwest jet down there leaving. What is wake turbulence?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, turbulence from the engines of the aircraft, or from the aircraft?
Yeah, it's from the wingtips actually. Let's watch when he actually lifts off the ground.
Okay.
He can fly still.
Yeah, it's that spiral that comes off.
Yeah,
into
so
the
let's see
wingtips.
where does he lift off. He's a heavy airplane. So right about that taxiway there.
Yeah.
So behind his wings, if you could see it, there'd be these spirals
Yeah.
coming down and below him and washing out over the runway.
Yeah.
Now that he took off
2311, contact party.
well past where we would
Yeah.
be affected by that.
Yeah.
But had he took off, had he been light, took off by 19 left, those dissipate laterally and
Yeah.
downwards, so they could wash out over our area or out over our runway. We could get caught in it.
Okay.
Just a spiral and stuff. So how do you avoid those?
Don't go behind it?
You want to stay above
Oh, you say
above his path and
Yeah.
land beyond where he land beyond land before he rotated basically. So that because those vortexes aren't generated when he's still rolling on the ground. They're not as strong until he starts rotating. So if you stay above his path and land before he took off, then you're in good shape. And then when you take off, you want to take off before he does. You want to rotate before he does, and you want to climb above his path as well.
Parallel runway.
The idea is you just don't want to be below their glide path in either situation. And sorry, in landing, if you're landing behind an airplane, you stay above and you land beyond where they touch down. So
Okay.
I was trying to talk about landing
And you're saying it doesn't really
behind
pertain
an airplane
to
that
us?
takes off. It's
When
not
you-
going to pertain to us because look at where he rotates. It's way down there.
Yeah.
Those aren't going to affect us. However, they may affect us on our takeoff roll. So we'll do this one and we'll just try to rotate and climb above where he takes off. That makes sense. Little power. Yeah, little power there. That aileron in, yeah.
That was high.
45, turn left.
A little high, right? We ran out of elevator. You felt that, right?
Yes,
Just,
I
we
did.
ran out. We full stalled it. little power would soften it or go around there. But you don't want to full stall, you know, more than a few feet off the runway. It's going to be a pretty hard set down there. So he rotated right about here. So here's where we want to climb out a little higher than where he rotated, kind of be above his glide path. Okay. I'm sorry, his climbing path. Yeah. So that we stay up.
We've got better left traffic, runway 19 left.
Okay. Alright.
And
7 Lima Golf traffic on a 6 mile straight in for 19 right is 6737.
So the idea is basically staying out of the wash, right? So if you can't climb above their path, then maybe you want to turn and get away from it. Okay. So the discussion that I had before was trying to describe landing behind an airplane that's taking off, which is not as common of a problem because you're going to land well before they rotate most of the time.
Yeah. So that last landing, I was just too high. Is that?
Yeah, you just kept flaring, and I
flared it twice.
Yeah, you flared it. You kept flaring. We were high, and what would have been appropriate is relax it a little bit, let it come down, and then reapply some back pressure. But you just kind of kept flaring until we ran out of energy completely, but we were still a couple feet high. It worked out. We didn't touch down too hard, but when that happens, you get so behind the airplane on the lateral control that you lose your crosswind correction and stuff. So it gets just kind of ugly.
So how do if I flare too early, what should I do to fix that?
Lower the nose and try to reapply, and if that's not feeling good, just get out of there. Just have the power go around.
Yeah, I think sometimes I try not to lower the nose, you know, to hold it back.
Yeah, you can relax it a little bit. You don't want to push forward, but you can relax it a little bit.
Okay. The 1692 visual 19 right. So 1692 Mach Tower runway 19 right, 120 on 9er, clear to land. Clear to land 19 right, Delta 1692. For 7 Lima Golf, 737 traffic, set about a mile, final caution wake turbulence, runway 19er left, wind 120 at 10, clear for the option.
19er left, clear for the option, 7 Lima Golf. Do I say negative contact?
No, you don't have to. He's landing, he's over the fence right now.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
Positive contact?
Yeah, so he says caution wake turbulence because, but look at where he's touching down. Those wake vortices aren't going to affect us really at all because we're going to be over the top of those.
Yeah.
If you vision our glide path, we're going to be well on top of his glide path, and we're going to touch down beyond where he touched down.
Yes.
So we're never going to encounter wingtip vortices that are spiraling down, out.
South 1219, turn right into here, then contact ground footing.
Alright, here's 9 ground point, Southwest away.
Yeah, just wait for it. Let it settle. Let it settle a little bit. Reapply the back pressure. So yeah, you're flaring a little bit high, so we need to come down a little bit more, nose low, and then just wait to round out. By round out, I mean, you know, starting that initial level off. Let's wait a little longer to do that. We're just doing it a little early. That's why we're getting that way nose up.
Yeah. All right.
And then
maybe I'm getting a little excited.
Yeah, and then our rudder was a little off on that one too, just because of what happens early on in the training process.
South center left traffic, runway 19 left, traffic on a 4 mile straight in for 19 right, is Airbus.
19 left?
Yep, left traffic, 19 left.
Left traffic, 19 left. Option 7, let me go.
South 1692 traffic.
He didn't clear us the option.
Runway too far.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Roger, we'll be looking.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's right.
All I have to say with all that information is left traffic, 19 left. So.
All right.
What happens early on in the training process is when you start to focus on one thing, like getting our landing flares where they need to be, it's easy to let something else go to the wayside. So we're starting to focus on the landing flare when losing our crosswind correction again. So
I know.
it's normal. And also, we've been at this almost an hour. It's kind of warm, a little on the bumpier side today. It just kind of goes to show this can become a fatiguing environment, right? So maybe we'll do one more and call it a day for today. Because after a while, there's no more benefit to just when you start to get mentally and physically tired, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just let's do this one, see how it goes, and we'll do a full stop at the end.
All right.
So we'll do this one, and we'll do a go around, or we'll do another lap and do a full stop.
Okay.
Road 7, Lima Golf Airbus traffic, 10 miles, final for 19 right, caution wake turbulence, runway 19 left, wind 1309er, clear for the option.
19 left, clear for the option, 7 Lima Golf.
There it is. See the Airbus?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes it's just overthinking, and then with the landing, man, I get something in my head, and then something else goes out the back.
Sure.
And it's too bad that happens.
Yeah.
Same with the getting tired. It's too bad.
My primary instructor, he kept the lessons to like 6/10 of an hour, or 7/10. I very, very, very rarely had a lesson that was over an hour with him. Most of them were, the longest one was usually like 9/10.
Yeah.
He was a firm believer that it was the shorter lessons were better.
1692, turn right at Romeo 3, then contact.
It took me 3 years to get my private.
Romeo 3, yes.
I think there's some merit in that.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But if you can go often.
Yeah. If you can go often. We'll do these hour and a half, 3 hour, 2 hour lessons, and it's just like, man, what is a student getting out of that at an hour, 1 hour in, hour and a half? I was just with Nathan out there today for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he's got a few hundred hours, and he was wiped.
Yeah.
We're doing some commercial maneuvers and stuff, but man. But when you have good weather like this and a working airplane, it's tempting to stay out here.
Yep.
Take advantage. Because it is enjoyable.
Yes, it is. I'll always push myself.
Yeah.
Okay, don't flare too early, right?
Yeah, let's bring it down a little closer before we start that round out in the flare.
Okay.
Good. Bring the rudder in now. That wing down, just wait a little bit. Now start holding it off right over here. Let's wait for it to settle. There it is.
Alright.
Stay on the rudders, ailerons. There you go. Ailerons. See how much of a difference that makes?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Just come out of the slip. takeoff. You'll need a little bit of rudder on that takeoff. You're still letting it kind of just go to the left. You want to make sure that you're controlling the direction.
Okay. You know, when we did this before, I tried that. This ball went way out, and I didn't know if I should.
Don't worry about the ball. Yeah,
Okay.
the ball doesn't matter on the takeoff. It does on the initial part of the roll.
Okay.
You want to climb out with the ball center.
12 left traffic, runway 19 left.
Okay.
You're gonna actually, proper crosswind landing and a proper crosswind takeoff, the ball isn't gonna be in the center because you're in a slip.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be. But
All
once
right.
you transition into tracking the center line on the way up with the wings level,
Yep.
then the ball should be in the middle.
Okay.
But don't worry about the ball being in the middle.
Got it. Don't worry about the ball.
In that initial part. Left traffic.
Okay.
But yeah, delaying that, the round out helped on that one, and that was a nice touchdown.
Yeah.
So let's, we'll just do this one and call this one a full stop if you're good with that.
First 7 Lim Golf traffic 4 east of the field, following the shoreline northbound, VFR 3500 is the Cessna.
Negative contact.
Negative contact, 7 Lim Golf.
First 7 Lim Golf, roger, and additional traffic on a 7 mile straight in for the parallel of 737.
Roger. Cool. So I said roger, negative contact, looking 7.
Milwaukee Tower, hello, Southwest 3116, joining final over downtown.
South 3116, Mach Tower, runway 19 right, wind 12010, cleared to land.
That last one, it was pretty good, just a little too much energy.
Traffic ahead to your
Oh, it was
left,
fine.
No, it was
and
good.
the
That was
low
good.
level was the VFR aircraft working.
The goal isn't like this greaser every time. Like
Okay.
a harder landing isn't a bad landing.
Okay.
If you're out of energy. A greaser is nice, but that's not the goal.
First 7 Lim Golf, runway 19
What's
left.
the goal then?
120 at 10, cleared to land. That 737 traffic is on a 5 mile straight up.
I didn't hear him. What was
Correct. Thank you. Maintain visual separation with that traffic. Crosswind Southwest 3116, parallel traffic pattern
The
traffic.
goal is
as
to
you
walk away from the
maintain.
landing. Without bending the airplane.
Okay.
So the old tired aviation joke is any landing that you can walk away from is a good one, and any one that you can use the airplane again is even better. So the goal is to land without side loading the airplane, without excessive descent.
Are we saying 19
Yeah.
left?
Yep. To be out of energy, to be have directional control.
Yep.
And with enough, and with not a lot of excess speed and without using up too much of the runway. There's nothing that says that it has to be like almost imperceptible to the human body that your wheels touch the ground or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, when I say, you know, the greaser isn't the goal, maybe the greaser is it's a worthy pursuit, but the goal should be to maintain directional control, to land on the spot that you determined to land, to stop the airplane at a reasonable distance, to not land so hard that you damage something, right?
Yes. Okay.
In fact, there are going to be some scenarios that require you to touch down a little harder because you want to get the airplane on the ground and stop, right?
Yes.
And we'll practice those once after your solo. Those are short and soft field takeoffs. That's a cool shot right there. Take that.
What is it? Oh, nice. Oh yeah.
Yes, just wait a little bit longer. Now try it. That rudder in, that wing down. Aileron in. Yeah, so he's still flared a little high on that. What we're gonna do is full stop.
Oh,
here.
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.